when we're talking about the potential for fraud and the risk, is it a small carrier, a large carrier? Is the risk across the board? Does size matter?
Yeah, what we see is that risk definitely looks different depending on the profile of the carrier. So through our risk factors product, part of what we do is we have our whole data science team who's really looking at how does risk get assessed differently from carrier characteristics, and how do we make sure that we're not over impacting a large carrier fleet versus a small carrier fleet, because you would expect a large carrier fleet to have more reused phone numbers, for example, right? And so we don't want to be too blunt in how we're really thinking about fraud indicators. So we do a lot of calibration to make sure that we're balancing that correctly. We take a lot of customer feedback as well. So if a customer is saying, there's something miscalibrated about this kind of carrier, we immediately go back and understand why is our algorithm flagging it this way, and how can we add additional nuance to make sure that we're calibrated.
And looking at like geographic factors as well when we're trying to do it. I know they'll joke the Glendale Mafia or, the Chicago carrier network where you both need them and don't need them. Someone's going to come after me for that. But, is that something when looking into the data set? Is there a geographic risk factor? I'm prefacing this because as we're also seeing more nearshoring, we're going to see more carriers enter the system. Do I need to worry about location?
So we tend to see less risk about location, broadly speaking. I think there are certain exceptions where we know there are sort of high-risk areas. But again, I think that a lot of it has to do with behavioral patterns and when a pattern starts to get broken. So we pay a lot of attention to IP addresses, and so we track whenever there has been an incident with a carrier and associated with a particular IP, we can block and flag that IP address, so understanding when that might be used, and also understanding when behavior differs from where they're actually taking loads versus where we see search behavior, and anytime that those things don't actually add up, it can help give us some additional intelligence.
So like if I'm an intra-Florida carrier and I'm suddenly looking for Washington State, and that's all I'm searching, and you see me making movements on, that would be a suspicious activity.
That's an example of something that we might be trying to look for, yeah.